Don't try and make another Skai Water beat until you finish this video. Long story short, I've been getting comments all week about how to make a Skai Water type beat. I might have cracked the formula, so stay tuned. We're about to break it down. Oh yeah. I've made this video like 4 or 5 times. This is probably the best beat I've made out of them. I'm just gonna explain to you guys what I did to make the beat. Let's get into it. First and foremost, we're gonna start off with the melody, right? So when it comes to these Skai Water beats, they like to use a lot of samples on these type of beats. Now when it comes to finding samples, what you're gonna want to look for is samples that are soul samples and funk samples. Now find your go-to place to find samples. Me personally, I like to use Sample It or Splice. If you don't know how to filter samples, filter what you're looking through. For Sample It, you can go here, press this filters button, go genre, boom, funk and soul. And now anything else, when you shuffle it, is going to be funk and soul. Another thing you can do is use Splice. You can use Splice to find samples straight out. Splice has some pretty nice lab-made samples, or it has little parts that you can put together and make a sample. What I did for this beat is I did the Splice method, but I put the parts together to make my own little sample. So what I'm going to do now is go through each part. Yeah. So first and foremost, we're going to start off. This is basically a piano sample, right? Nothing crazy, nothing super special. Dragged it in from Splice, pitched it down 200, and I matched it to the BPM of 169. When it comes to these Skai Water type beats, you want to be in the 135 to 145 range, and then from like the 155 to the 170 range. The sample sounds like this. Just a nice, calm little piano sample. The reason why I chose this is because in my mind, while I'm putting all these little pieces together, I'm thinking, how am I going to build a soul sample? What would I find in a soul sample? And it would be these things. So this part of the sample is literally just a guitar sound. I used it as a lead in the sample. Didn't really do much to this one either. I lied. I pitched it up an octave and obviously stretched it to 169 BPM. Obviously, this power rate is dumb good. So obviously that's not the full sample. I chopped it up. I only got the parts that I needed. And then when it comes to actually using it in the song, I have it chopped up a little more over here. Followed that up with vocals, obviously. Soul sample, you can't really do a real good soul sample without no vocals in it. Another Splice loop. Once again, Splice is my hero. Shout out Splice, even though y'all make me pay for it. I went for someone that sounded like an authentic soul loop.
I keep on telling you well, you don't come home from nights out. I will be kicking you out.
Yeah, that's Gucci. Like I said, it's just a lead vocal to make the sample feel like a real sample. And over here, I did a little more chopping. All said and done, I'll play them all together so you can hear it. My goal with this part was literally just essentially making a sample. And it just repeats. All right, now we're going to talk about the drums. This is the important part, so really lock in. If you need to get your notebook, get your notebook. Let's get to it. Oh, hell. And I spelled drums wrong. I was just so excited to really talk to y'all boys. First and foremost, we're going to start with the hi-hats. I just used a simple little hi-hat sound. Like, it doesn't sound anything. It doesn't sound special at all. What I did to place the pattern down is I came in here, fill 2-step, just put a normal 2-step pattern down. Now, the step I did after that was as I'm playing it, I'm looking for notes to take out or rolls or just cool little stuff that I can add to the hi-hat melody to make it a little more interesting. What I ended up coming up with is this. 2 little triplets. I think these are triplets. Terminology is not all the way there. I just know how to make this shit sound cute. 2 little stops, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. Another thing I did is I played around with the velocity just to give it a little more life. I'm gonna play it. Now we're going to go on to the clap and the snare. This is, in my opinion, one of the most important parts of the beat. Probably when it comes to these Skai Water beats, I feel like what makes a Skai Water beat, the snap and the clap pattern. The snare and the clap pattern. The way they play with each other, pause, and like interact with each other and is super important when it comes to these beats, right? It's really one of those things I can better show you than I can explain it to you. Just notice how one thing leaves space for the other and they sound more coherent together as opposed to 2 separate pieces. We're gonna start off with the clap. I used a simple little jerk clap from this jerk kit out that I picked up that I really liked. Just a simple little quick little clap. I'm just gonna play it for you guys. I don't know what was going through my head when placing these down. I'm pretty sure I did both the snare and the clap at the same time, and that's why it is the way it is. But I'm gonna play it solo for you and then together so you see what I'm really saying. Now we're gonna go with the snare. Pattern's actually kind of similar to the other one, but just pay attention to how it fills the gaps that the clap pattern leaves. Like, the pattern is not bad, it's not nothing to write home about, but when you play them both together, that's when it all comes together and it really has life. Now when they're played both together, it sounds like a more coherent, clear snare clap pattern, right? Now to really glue it together, I'm gonna play the hi-hats so you can hear all three of these elements together. And at this point in the beat, you're gonna start being like, okay, I'm starting to picture Sky hopping on this beat. So now we're gonna keep building on it. What I did after that is this kick for a little bit of oomph, right? I think the kick really works in here because I end up using the kick and 2 808s. I'll get to that later. But the kick really works here because, you know, sometimes when you sample songs, there's drums already in them that you have to work your way around. But it's a simple little kick. I got this from the Rio kit, my favorite kit of all time. I was gonna make a video on it, explaining why it's my favorite kit and how to get it, but the way you're supposed to get it doesn't exist no more. Let me know if you're looking for a kit, an all-around kit. I can make a video on this. Let me know if you want the video in the Rio kit. Comment it down below, like the video up, just let me know. Besides that, I got this kit from the Rio kit. The pattern is just, I put it where it felt like it sounded nice. Right? Everything plays together nicely. Now we're gonna talk about the open hat. I'm gonna keep it brief and quick. It's not 100% necessary. Yeah, you've already heard all that for a minute, but you can see how everything's building together. Now we're gonna talk about the 808s, what people probably really want to hear, right? Beats are known for them hard-hitting, crazy, distorted, gritty 808s. If you want them to sound like that, what you're looking for is clipping and distortion. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can get clipping and distortion results. They can sound different depending on how you do it. Quickest way you can get it done, basic FL sampler, right? So click whatever sample you want to use, right? Let's say this 808. This is a 808 that I'm going to be using. Go to this little send icon right next to the tool wrench thingy. You can see where my little mouse is. Click on that, and this little section right here is what we're looking at, the boost and clip little knob. Now the boost basically makes the sample louder, right? And it gets up there and it'll distort obviously on the master bus or whatever, but what you really want to do is up the boost and click this little clip thing. But the clipping will cut it, give it the clipping effect, and also that comes with distortion. So together you get 808s that sound like you're at the Dominican Day Parade and the Hondas is coming through. That's one way to do it. Now we're gonna talk about the second method, right? And it's a simple little mix bus. You can go here, go to the mix bus, put some sort of distortion plugin, right? I like to use Fruity Blood Overdrive because that's damn near the only one I got. I haven't copped no new shit. Nothing crazy with the parameters, just turn the color up a little bit. Obviously turn the knob up to make the effect click. And this preamp, I put it on times 100 just so it hits even harder. Another thing you can do is add a soft clipper on it. What that does is obviously it clips it softly. If you look here, it has this little graph. Turn the threshold all the way up, so bring this knob all the way to the left and then bring this one all the way to the right. That's that. Now let's get into the actual drums for the 808s and shit and blah blah blah. So I'm gonna start off with this first little 808 pattern, but this is what the 808 sounds like just off rip. Just an 808 with no trains. It just repeats 3 little quick times, simple. And then I added this ghost note. That's the simple little pattern. I didn't really do too much. I'm gonna play it for you. Then we're gonna go ahead and talk about the second 808. This 808 has a little more transients to it, has a little more punch. And for this one, I have it on the end half of the pattern, just so the pattern transitions nice and aggressively. Like I said, the 808 has a little bit of transient, a little bit of kick to it. Nothing really crazy with this pattern. Listen to it. nice. Now, if you're like, oh, the beat's good, but it's not punching like the Skai Water shit, to get that effect, literally all you have to do is turn the 808s up. You can throw the extra soft clipper on there. Just throw those extra effects on there and make it gritty. Everything is really trial and error. This is what it sounds like if I crank this shit crazy. Just play around with it, have fun with it. Remember, you gotta have fun with the music shit or you're gonna lose your fucking mind. Look at Kanye. Anyways, now let's play the whole verse section so you can hear the way it sounds. That's really it when it comes to like the foundation of the Skai Water beats. Skai Water beats always have that little intro where it's either a different part of the sample manipulated a little more. Definitely keep that in mind. Show a lot of love to the arrangement and a lot of love to the production. Skai Water beats, even though they're just really distorted and hard hitting, it's with a purpose. It's purposeful. There's science and logic behind it. From this for this intro, all I did was start off with just the piano melody. I'll play it for you just so you can hear it though. When it comes to the rest of the arrangement, I didn't show it too much love, like I said. I probably am going to go back and show a little more love to the beat. But yeah, like I said, show a lot of love to the arrangement. Make sure you really distort and beat the fuck out of them 808s and all that low end. Make sure you have a lot of bounce through the snare and the clap. Make sure there's a lot of bounce and life between the two of them. And make sure the sample's good and you got yourself a really nice Skai Water beat. Any other video comments, any ideas, whatever, DM me on IG, comment them down below, let me know. I'll be live streaming, tap in. Sometimes we cook up live, sometimes we just react to music and chill. So fuck with us, all hell shit.